Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. Thank you for standing by. Welcome to the IR call for ONGC Limited. During the entire course of presentation, all participants' line will be in listen-only mode. Later, we are going to connect you with a question and answer session, and instructions on how to participate will follow at that point of time. Would like to welcome and hand over the call proceedings to the esteemed speaker, Mr. Anurag Sharma, Director of Finance, to the conference call. Sir, a very good morning. You can begin now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Anurag Sharma, Director Onshore. I am holding additional charge of Director Finance ONGC. I welcome you all in this ONGC earnings call for Q3 and 9-month FY22. Thank you all for joining us on the call. I am joined here by my colleagues, Mr. Tangaonkar, ED OSD, Mr. Anupam Agarwal, Chief Corporate Finance, Mr. Mukul from Corporate Planning Section, Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Chief Accounts and Financial Reporting Services, Mr. Atul Chaturvedi, Chief Commercial and Treasury, Mr. Rakesh Kaul, Chief of BD JV Group, Mr. Sanjay Srivastav, Chief of CM and HG Group, Mr. Sanjay Bharti from Corporate Accounts, Mr. Vinod Halan, CFO from ONGC Videsh, Mr. Nirmal Kumar, also from ONGC Videsh, and Mr. Prakash Joshi from Investor Relations Cell. ONGC has compiled its financial results for the quarter and 9 months ended 31st December 2021, which have been reviewed by the statutory auditors. The financial results have already been released on 11th February 2021 through a press note and sent to the stock exchanges. This has also been sent to the analysts who are there on our mailing list. Here is a brief synopsis of the results. The company has earned a net profit, that is profit after tax, of 8,764 crores during the third quarter of FY22, as against 1,258 crores during third quarter of FY21, which is an increase of 7,506 crores or 596.7%. The profit after tax for 9-month FY22 has increased by 26,923 crores, which is 596.9%. That is from the restated profit after tax of 4,512 crores in 9-month FY21 to 31,446 crores in 9-month FY22. The increase in net profit during the current quarter and 9-month FY22 is on account of higher sales revenue, mainly due to higher crude oil, natural gas and web price realizations, higher other income, that is dividend income, and opting for lower tax regime under Section 115B AAA of Income Tax Act 1961. The sales revenue for Q3 FY22 and 9-month FY22 has increased by 11,375 crores, which is 67%, and by 28,810 crores, which is 61.6%, as against the corresponding quarter and 9 months of previous year. The billing net of VAT and CST for crude during the third quarter of the current fiscal was at $75.73 per barrel, as against $43.2 per barrel in the same period of last year. That is an increase of $32.53 per barrel. The exchange rate of rupee versus dollar stood at 74.96 vis-a-vis 73.74. Thus, realization for crude in rupee terms stood at $5,677 per barrel in Q3, rupees 5,677 per barrel in Q3 FY22 vis-a-vis 3,186 per barrel in Q3 FY21, which is an increase of 2,491 per barrel, 78.2% in INR terms. Similarly, gross billing for crude during the first 9 months of the current fiscal was at $70.26 per barrel, as against $37.74 per barrel in the same period of last year. That is an increase of $32.52 per barrel. The exchange rate of rupee versus dollar stood at 74.27 vis-a-vis 74.63. Thus, realization of crude in rupee terms stood at 5,218 per barrel in 9-month FY22 vis-a-vis 2,816 per barrel in 9 months FY21, which amounted to an increase of 2,402 per barrel, which is 85.3% in INR terms. Other income for Q3 FY22 and 9 months FY22 has increased by 709 crores, which is 90.7%, and by 2,017 crores, which is 63.9%, as against the corresponding Q3 and 9-month period of previous year, mainly due to increase in receipt of dividend income. The expenditure on statutory levies, that is royalty and cess, have increased during Q3 FY22 by 2,893 crores, which is 70.6%, and by 8,063 crores, which is 73.2% in comparison with similar period of previous year. This increase in statutory levies is attributable to increase in sale price of crude oil and natural gas. There is a decrease of 721 crores, which is 39.2% in exploration costs written off in Q3 FY22, and 1,443 crores, which is 32.7% in 9-month FY22 versus corresponding Q3 and 9-month period of previous year. This is due to decrease in expenditure on such unsuccessful well cost, which is dry wells charged off, and survey expenditure due to reduced seismic data acquisition activity in nomination block of Western Offshore Basin. The operating expenditure has increased by 883 crores, which is 19.3%, from 4,576 crores in Q3 FY21 to 5,459 crores in Q3 FY22. The increase is mainly on account of the increase in consumption of materials, which is 380 crores, mainly at the C2C3 plant, on account of increase in prices of spot LNG. Other factors being staff expenditure 133 crores, repair and maintenance cost 139 crores, and transport of product 71 crores, mainly at Mumbai offshore. Similarly, the operating expenditure in 9-month FY22 has also increased by 2,019 crores, which is 15.2%, from 13,263 crores in 9-month FY21 to 15,282 crores in 9-month FY22. The increase is mainly on account of the increase in consumption of materials, 962 crores, mainly at the C2C3 plant, by 855 crores, on account of increase in purchase quantity and prices of spot LNG, staff expenditure by 446 crores, water injection 122 crores due to increase in activities, contractual payment 155 crores, and transport of product 117 crores, mainly at Mumbai offshore. DT&I cost for Q3 FY22 stood at 4,337 crore as against 4,427 crore in Q3 FY21, which is a decrease of 90 crores. However, there is an increase of 517 crores in DT&I cost during 9-month FY22. That is from 11,929 crores to 12,446 crores in 9-month FY22. During the second quarter, the company decided to opt for lower tax regime under Section 115BAA of the Income Tax Act 1961 with effect from FY 2020-21. Accordingly, the company has recognized provision for tax expenses and remeasured its net deferred tax liabilities. The net impact due to availing the option has resulted in decrease in deferred tax by 8,609 crores and decrease in current tax by 2,107 crores in 9-month FY22. The company at a consolidated level has earned a net profit, that is profit after tax, of 11,637 crores during the third quarter of FY22 as against 3,637 crore during third quarter of FY21. That is an increase of 8,000 crores, which is 220%. This increase can be mainly attributable to ONGC and our subsidiaries OVL and MRPL. Similarly, the company at a consolidated level has earned a net profit, that is profit after tax, of 37,233 crores during 9-month FY22, as against 10,397 crores during 9-month FY21. That is an increase of 26,836 crores, which is 258.1%. This increase can again be mainly attributable to ONGC and better performance of our subsidiaries OVL, MRPL, and OPAL, which is a joint venture. Well, friends, with this, I finish my briefing of the third quarter results for financial year 2021-22. We will be very happy to respond to any questions which you might have. We would request you to restrict your queries on financial results only. Thank you very much.
So should we start the question and answer session?
Yes, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we will have the question and answer session. Would like to request, if you wish to ask any questions to the respected speaker, please press 0 and 1 on your telephone keypad. Repeating and requesting again, ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to ask any questions, please press 0 and 1 on your telephone keypad. So the first question is coming up from Amit from UBS. Amit, your line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations for super performance. But I have two questions. Relating to the production growth, and we understand that you're from onshore and you have this additional responsibility of Director of Finance. So I think you can give slightly better picture how we should think about the output growth in both oil and gas from here. What are the efforts we are making, and when we see the fructification of those efforts?
Your question pertains to our plans for the production in times to come?
Yes, sir, because we are still witnessing, a degrowth in production, particularly gas, and so if you can give some colors so that what are our plans to raise the output from here?
ONGC, along with the Ministry of Petroleum, we have already drawn an action plan, which is a short-term plan to start with, which goes up to 2024-25. So under this plan, we have set enhanced production targets both for oil and gas. So this action plan has already been submitted, and we are in the process of implementing this enhanced production action plan.
Sir, when do you see that it will come under implementation, and you think that, and what are the targets put in those plans? If you can give some color on that.
This action plan has already been implemented. We have already started implementing. So you can say this is the first year, and the enhanced targets against this plan, they go up to 63.11 MMTOE, which include our joint venture production as well.
Sir, for which year?
This is for 2024-25.
And 23-24?
There is a smooth progression starting from 2021-22. Then in 23-24, targets would be around 60 MMTOE.
Sir, sorry, what is the 60 MMTOE? What the target is for? Which financial year?
2023-24.
60 MMTOE. But sir, then you said 53 MMTOE for 24-25. Then are we looking to?
No, what I said for 2024-25, our targets are 63 MMTOE. And then you asked about 2023-24. Those are slightly less at about 60 MMTOE.
Okay. Yeah. So second question I have is relating to the capital allocation. So now we are in a position where we are generating a lot of cash. So what do you see is the optimum utilization of this cash apart from investing into our production targets? So do you think that global oil and gas companies are pursuing a buyback program, so we can go on the same path and return some capital to the shareholders?
We have already drawn the plan for capital utilization. First of all, our capital expenditure, as you might be aware, it is always in the range of 30,000 crores, which we have been maintaining for about past 5 years. And the action plan which I just shared with you, it also demands capital expenditure of at least the same amount, if not more. That is one. Then you are also aware that we are a good dividend-paying company. We have already announced first dividend of 110%, and so the remaining amount will also have to be paid. Then we also have our standalone debt at the start of the year, which was around 15,023 crores. And over and above that, we have plans for increased exploratory expenditures, debottlenecking of our aging development facilities. So in a nutshell, this is the plan which we have.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is coming up from Ketan Mehta from BOB Capital Market. Line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah. Would you be able to give us more, taking back on the Amit's question, would you be able to sort of give us a bit more color in terms of where are the areas where you are targeting the increase in the production? Would you be able to share more detailed insight into it?
The production plans are divided onshore and offshore, and the major thrust remains to be on our East Coast projects.
Right.
So, is that sufficient?
Would be good if you can give us a bit more sort of timeline and color about some of.
The KG-98/2 project, I think you would be very well aware of, which is already in the process of implementation. It is about 65% complete, and by sometime during next year, we would be achieving first oil. And then this project is going to be the mainstay in terms of oil and gas production, from where the major increase is likely to come for the company. Are you satisfied, Ketan?
Yes, sir. One more question, if I may. In terms of the OVL realization, when we look at this Q3 quarter, realization net of statutory levies being paid were almost flat quarter on quarter, despite sort of the increase in the oil price. Could you explain us the drivers in terms of how the realizations move on the OVL front?
Vinod, can you answer that?
Total income we have recorded in 9 months is 13,004.
Ketan, are you able to, is it audible to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I audible?
If you can come a bit closer, it would be better.
Mr. Vinod Hallan is CFO of ONGC Videsh. He will respond to this question.
Your question is on the 9 months realization, right?
Third quarter realization in terms of a dollar per BOE terms. So if I sort of realization minus statutory levies and duties, if I look at it, so there has not been really a material net increase quarter on quarter. despite sort of the increase in the oil and gas realization?
Okay. So you see, we have actually 3-month quarter price. Our 9-month average price is $68.40, and for $68.40. And but with the increase of price, the royalty component also increases in every project. So that is why the net you don't see that kind of increase. So there is some decline in the production, 5% decline in the production and as well as sales. So the negative quantity variance is actually the contributor.
Fine, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ketan.
Thank you so much. The next question is coming up from Ubal Sen from ICICI Securities. Line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. Probal here, sir, from ICICI. With staying on OVL, you mentioned about the ambitious production plans for the domestic assets. For OVL, any updates you can give in terms of the production plan for the next couple of years, in terms of where production growth can come from? And second part is that any updates you can share on what is happening on Mozambique? Has there been any update or any progress in resolution of the political problems there?
Mr. Nirmal Kumar is representing ONGC Videsh. He is responding to this question.
Okay, coming to the first part of the question, and that is with regard to production. If you see our previous performance, we reached the highest ever production of around 15 MMTOE. That was the fiscal year before last, that was 1920. And then in 2021, there has been OPEC plus cuts and the pandemic impact leading to capex deferrals, because of which our production went down to around 13 MMTOE. This year, some of that impact also remains, both in terms of capex deferrals and also some component of the OPEC cut. So this year also, we might not be in a position to reach the 30 MMTOE that we produced last year. It would be slightly lesser. But you also have to consider the major impact of our gas production, where 10% of our production comes from Vietnam on an overall basis, and 30% of our production of gas comes from Vietnam. And this particular project, which was acquired way back in 1989, is reaching its end of its field and its contractual life. That directly impacts our production going forward. Therefore, summing up all this, till the time that Mozambique kicks in, which would be 25-26, the gas production will lag, and our projections continue to be for the next 2 years around this 12.5 MMTOE that I am projecting presently, before it picks up further with Mozambique. Now coming to your second specific question on Mozambique situation. Mozambique, as you know, went into force majeure in April 2021, with the consortium deciding under the EPC GA to declare a force majeure, and later, as per the exploration contract, to declare it in May. Since then, there has been a lot of progress as far as the security situation in the Cabo Delgado province is concerned, because of which, with the deployment of the Southern African forces and also that of the Rwandan forces, the situation has improved dramatically. The operator, which is Total, is calibrating the situation closely. However, the consortium is very clear that till there is a sustainable solution to the security situation, we cannot start operations. In other words, we cannot start operations again just to stop it again. Therefore, we are hopeful that going forward in 2022, we would be in a position to resume those operations. However, Mozambique force majeure, as has been declared by the operator publicly also, will impact the production at least by a year.
So, till dates, got it, sir. So, if I can just ask a small follow-up. So, till date, if you can get a sense of how much investment has been made in this asset till date, and is there any thought of sort of taking a small, have we taken any impairment on this, given that the production still remains fairly uncertain from this project as of now?
The production does not remain uncertain. The reserves are some of the biggest in the world, 63 TCF of oil and gas. Production is not an issue. There is no question of taking impairment on this basis alone. However, as far as production, if financing is concerned, broadly our acquisition cost, and apart from that, we have made some cash calls. But the major part of the project financing, major part of the financing in the project comes from project financing. Therefore, there is no direct exposure of ONGC Videsh capex to any further capex commitments to Mozambique.
Okay, sir. I'll come back if I have more questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is coming up from Gagan Dixit from Elara Capitals. Line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, sir. So there's a news that your consortium will also start working on some Sergipe Basin discovery in Brazil. That's for the old discovery. So can you throw some light at what are the reserve potential estimates for you, and if everything goes right, so when you expect anything from the first oil, and what is the oil production, anything expected? If you have anything view over it, sir.
You are referring to some media news. I will have to check and we'll come back on this.
Okay, sir. Okay. Actually, this is about I think some 8-10 years old discovery of OPL in Brazil. Sir, other than that, I was just checking the presentation, sir. So it mentioned something 4 major redevelopment projects that you are working. There's the Cluster 8 and then Mumbai High and South redevelopment phase 4 and Hira redevelopment. So can you throw some light on what is the incremental production expected from these fields, sir?
Okay, give me a minute. Okay, the first project which you referred was Mumbai High South Redevelopment Phase 4. This project has an envisaged oil production gain of 2.4 million ton of oil and 0.57 BCM of gas. This project is 88% complete. Second project was Cluster 8 Marginal Field Project. This has oil gain of 4.38 million tons of oil and 0.46 BCM of gas. This project is 94.19% complete. Then Mumbai High North Redevelopment Phase 4. Envisaged oil production gain is 4.19 million ton of oil, 0.51 BCM of gas. This is 53% complete. So, and one more you referred to. Which one was that?
Hira redevelopment, sir. Hira redevelopment phase 3, sir.
Hira, as far as I remember, it is already complete and it has been implemented.
Okay, sir. And also, sir, if you give some idea about this R series, that is also under development, I think.
Okay, just a minute. Hira redevelopment project. I'm sorry. Hira Phase 3 project. It has oil production targets of 3 million ton of oil and 5.82 BCM of gas. This is 78% complete. This is still ongoing.
Okay, and, sir. And R series, sir?
R series is complete.
Okay,
R series is completed.
Okay, sir. Okay, that's from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The next question is is coming up from Mayank Maheshwari from Morgan Stanley. Line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. I had a few questions on the production side. Can you just help us understand where the production run rates are for 98/2 on gas, and how are you thinking about the ramp up now? Have been the supply chain and logistics issues around that any resolved, and any update around that? Can you help us with that?
Yes. 98/2 gas production presently is 0.6 million standard cubic meter per day, and third well is also complete, and it is shortly going to be hooked up, and by the end of March it is likely to contribute another 1.75 million standard cubic meter per day. But otherwise this project would start its peak production from 22-23 onwards. Are you interested in any more figures?
Yeah, if you can just give us the ramp up, sir, in 22, and 23 and 24. How are you thinking about it, and where are we in terms of your capex plan and logistics side as well? How much is those issues resolved now, or it's still work in progress?
There have been some issues which we are trying to resolve at various levels, but still we are hopeful that we would we would be able to achieve peak production of 2.2 million ton, which is around 44,000 barrels of oil per day, and 3,798 million standard cubic meter of gas, which is 10.41 million standard cubic meter per day in the year 2023-24.
Got it, sir. So that's very helpful. And so the other question was on the production side, was more related to, I think you had in the press release talked about some issues around typhoon as well as the Sagar Samrat side, plus I think the field on gas side has been a problem. Where are we on those in of production right now?
The impact of are you referring to impact of Tokte on our production, or because these two issues are unrelated?
I think in the press, yeah, so I think there were a couple of issues that you had kind of laid out in your press release around what led to lower production this quarter on the standalone basis. So I just wanted to check of where we are in terms of some of those issues and normalize currently in terms of production volumes.
Yeah, one of the issue in the press release was delay in mobilization of Sagar Samrat because we had some issues pertaining to its modification work, and now we have been assured that this modification work has been complete, and Sagar Samrat will be mobilized soon, and WO16 cluster project which was affected because of it, so that will come on stream as soon as it arrives.
Got it, sir. I think, and I said the last question which I had was more on related to an auditor comment on OMPL in your notes to accounts. If you can just highlight of what it is, and can you just help us understand of how you guys trying to resolve that? It was note 4.
Yeah, our Mr. Rajiv Kumar, chief of our accounts group, he will explain it.
Yeah, there is a point relating to OMPL. OMPL has carried out some impairment test, and as per the impairment testing, the cash flow position suggests there is no impairment. OMPL auditor as such has not commented on the aspect in their report. However, MRPL auditor, because MRPL is the holding company for OMPL, so MRPL auditors were not convinced with that exercise, and they had commented on the investment impairment in OMPL, which right now is a comment. However, in the next quarter, the issue will be reviewed at ONGC level in totality, and we'll ensure that this comment is taken care.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is coming up from Ramesh from Nirmal Bang Institute. Line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you very much and congratulations. I'm from Nirmal Bang Institutional Equities. So the first thought is, what is the kind of sense you're getting on the likely changes in the domestic gas price, because there is a steep increase expected and there are some concerns about the end users for the preferential allocation segments like the CNG and domestic PNG segment. So any thoughts or any discussion between the government and the industry to possibly ameliorate the impact? What is the sense you get on that?
The issue pertaining to domestic gas price has been affecting ONGC because the gas price, which was on the basis of APM formula, it was calculated at 1.79. It has now been revised to 2.9, and it was barely enough to meet our production cost. So we had been taking it up with the ministry, and we had been requesting for pricing and marketing freedom. And this is what we have been trying, and we hope that it will be implemented as early as possible by the government.
Yeah, so no, I understand that, for you it is a benefit, and if it's implemented, what the sense we get is the domestic price can exceed $6. It's a steep increase. So in terms of the end users for CNG and domestic price, it will imply a steep increase in their prices. So, your view is that that formula will continue for the April price revision. Is that a correct understanding?
As far as we are concerned, we have to produce oil and gas, and we would like to be remunerated at least the production cost which we are incurring. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to continue to explore and produce oil and gas. So this is why we are requesting that market forces should decide what the price of oil and gas should be.
Okay, fair enough. So in terms of your production plan, can you give us the breakup for gas production increase within ONGC, excluding KG gas, and what is the number you set for FY24 and 25 from KG gas?
You are asking for the next year's figures or?
Yeah, if you can get a sense in terms of the increase in gas production for FY23 and 24, excluding KG gas, and what is the number you expect in KG gas?
This is total 34.36. KG gas in
For 23-24, our gas production is expected to be 32.16, out of which 3 BCM is expected from KG 98/2 alone.
Okay, this is for 24. How about 23?
This
22, 23?
24.
Yeah, so how about for 22, 23?
It will be 26.36.
And how much will be from KG?
KG contribution would be about 3 BCM.
That's a 3 BCM in 22, 23 also. Okay. Yeah. So are you still confident of that peak of 15 million cubic meters a day from KG, and when do you expect that, assuming the capex progresses as per your expectation?
There have been some delays, but we are making all efforts. The third well, as I said little bit earlier, is likely to come on stream later by the end of March. So we are trying to maintain figures, and we are trying to expedite and minimize delays wherever they are taking place.
So by 25, you should get to that 15 MMSCMD. Is that a correct assessment?
By it would be around 10 million standard cubic meter per day.
Okay.
The gap between 10 to 15, we are trying to look into those things to expedite so that it goes up to 15. But as of now, the forecast is about 10 million standard cubic meter per day.
Okay. And what is the capex you have incurred in kg year to date? What is the number now?
The so far investment is around in the range of 15,500 crores.
Okay. And what is the full capex expected over the life of the field, say, to achieve that 10 or 15, whichever you are working on right now?
The plan estimate was 34,000 crores.
Okay. And this will happen over the next 3 years, the difference between 15 and 34.
Yes.
Okay. So just one last thought. In terms of the OPaL performance, can you give us what is the revenue and profit from OPaL for third quarter and 9 months?
Yeah, just a minute. For third quarter of 22, OPaL was EBITDA positive with 939 crores, but it incurred a loss of 365 crores. And for 9 months, it was EBITDA positive with 2,229 crores, but had a negative PAT of 153 crores.
So EBITDA 3 months was 929 crores.
2,294 crores for 9 month FY22.
Yeah, and what was it for 3 months?
For 3 months, this was 939 crores.
939. Okay, thank you very much. I'll join back the queue.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is coming up from Puneet Gulati from HSBC. Line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much and congratulations. My first question is with respect to, you've talked about production growth. Do you foresee any risk for a material decline in production from any of your gas or oil fields?
Yeah, the forecast is based on the analysis which our institutes carry out, which our engineers carry out. And for the past few years, we have been successful in attaining those targets, and we continue to be optimistic about the future as well.
Right. So are you saying that the gas production for the company per se in FY23 can go up by 10.4, which is the kg big delta coming from kg basin, or any, should we be worried about any negative surprises there?
Yes, 10.4 million corresponds to KG 98 bar 2 coming on stream, and we are trying our best to realize this target.
Understood. My second question is there a capital allocation plan towards your renewable business as well? And if you can elaborate a bit on that as well.
Yes, we do have a plan. Just a minute. On renewables, as you would be aware, that we already have a installed capacity of about 184 megawatts, which includes both wind energy and solar energy. And another 20 megawatt solar projects are already underway. Besides this, we had 2 major initiatives. We signed a MOU with the Solar Energy Corporation of India on 2nd of December. This is for development of renewable energy based power, environmental societal governance projects. Also, we signed a MOU with NTPC. It was done last year, and once this joint venture is approved, we plan to take renewable projects along with NTPC. Besides that, we have taken some other initiatives. We already concluded a study for offshore wind projects. We are also looking into carbon capture, utilization and storage projects, along with IOC for CO2 EOR at Gandhar field and Ankleshwar. Then we have also taken up the country's maiden geothermal field development project in Ladakh. So these are some of the projects which we are taking up, and these will take shape in times to come.
Is there a target for the total capacity that you have in mind?
I'm sorry, I couldn't get. We have 184 megawatt.
Yeah, but is there a target? So most of the firms have now started giving targets for 2025, 2030, 2040. Is there something that you crystallize as of now?
Under our energy strategy 2040, we have a target of 10 gigawatts for renewable energy.
Okay, 10 gigawatts. Understood. That's very helpful. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is coming up from Vark Rajan from Axis Mutual Fund. Line has been unmuted. Go ahead.
Hi, it is Antique Limited. Sorry. So my question is about the capex in kg, that 34,000 number. Is there an escalation which is expected? Hello.
And for the KG project, which is about 65% complete, the wells have already been drilled, and since all the contracts are at an advanced stage, and these are LSTK type of contracts, we don't anticipate any delay at this stage, any escalation of cost at this stage.
Fair enough, sir. Secondly, about this 30,000 crores of annual capex and plus incremental capex, like, when you talk about the plus incremental capex, that essentially refers to your KG plus all the other redevelopment expenses. So any idea you can give in terms of what could be the quantum on an annual basis over the next 3 years?
30 to 30. As I said earlier, our capital expenditure has been in the range of 30,000 crores, maintaining in last 5 years. So this is, we are hopeful of maintaining the same, and this might go up if we get some exploration opportunities and some debottlenecking of our existing facilities comes up. So we are expected to maintain in the range of 30,000 crores.
Okay. As I understand, this basically includes all the redevelopment plus KG, all put together, you will continue to maintain 30,000 crores kind of a run rate. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you. On OVL, would you be able to give some kind of a guidance in terms of capex?
Yeah, just a moment.
OVL capex has been consistent at around $1 billion for the past 3-4 years. This year we had a higher allocation for capex because of Mozambique development. However, because of the force majeure there, we are cut back on that. But going forward, this capex is supposed to pick up, and it would be around 1.2 billion or so for the next 1 or 2 years. Beyond that, this capex, of course, does not take into account any potential acquisitions that we might do.
Fair enough. So this 1.2, ex-Mozambique, will it be significantly lower, or it will be still around the billion?
It has been for this year. Almost 55% of our capex at 8,000 crores comes from Mozambique. And because of the Mozambique deferral of capex, our RE figures have come down substantially. Next year we have again planned for Mozambique, and hopefully we'll be able to reach the target of 8,000 crores next year.
Fair enough. One last question on OPaL. Any volume guidance plus current utilization and any feedstock mix if you can share? Thank you.
Yeah, just a moment. For 9 months, the capacity utilization of OPaL was 93%, and for this quarter, third quarter, it was 99%.
And any feedstock mix, sir?
Feedstock mix is daily and a little bit of it's 60/40. Ethane and naphtha. The feedstock mix is ethane and naphtha.
Yeah, any breakup in terms of mix percentage-wise?
60/40 approximately.
60 in favor of gas.
Yeah.
C2C3. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is coming up from Krishna Kumar from Spark Capital. Line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Thanks for your time, sir. This is Vishnu Kumar from Spark. So just wanted some clarity again on the production numbers that you have given. Sir, if you could just split for FY23 standalone oil and gas numbers again.
Okay. For FY22-23, the standalone numbers which you asked, these are estimated at 20.98 for oil.
Okay.
And 24.28 for gas.
Sorry, your voice was cracking, sir. For 24?
24.28 for gas.
Okay, this is for 23. Okay, got it, sir. For FY24, what would the oil and gas number again be, sir?
It will be 24 and 32.
24 and 32. Okay, this will be 66. Right. Understood. So close to 45. So more or less 22 and 23. We don't think a major except for marginal increase in gas production. Oil will remain flat.
Yes, oil we will be able to arrest the decline, and gas with the KG-98/2 coming on stream and some more projects coming on stream, the gas production is expected to increase.
Understood. OVL, you expect the number to hello.
Yes, please.
So for OVL, do you expect the number to be around 12.5 for the next few years? Million ton.
Yes, you are right. In that range.
Understood. So second, you mentioned 30,000 crores capex more or less will continue, but you did say that also we may consider something. If you consider additional capex, would it be another 10,000 odd crores? The magnitude will be very high, or you expect only a few thousand crores up and down?
That will depend on the projects which we might have. So as now, the likelihood is of maintaining 30,000 crores, but if we get some interesting projects or some under OLP round, some exploration blocks, so the investment required for those licenses would necessitate some more investments.
Okay. Any next update would come by when, sir, if you are going to increase the capex, as in like you take a midterm review by June, July, or is it again next year? Just trying to get a sense.
We will let you know about this because this review will be carried out once we get all the information which we require for this review.
Understood, sir.
Okay.
On the KG 98, what is the gas price that you are currently getting, and what do you expect it in April, specifically on KG? And also, if you could just highlight to us what will be the APM price that indicatively that you are seeing in April?
Ceiling price. For KG 98 bar 2, we as of now have allocation of about 1 million standard cubic meter per day, and the gas price which we are getting is which was discovered during the tender process, but it is limited by the ceiling price which for deep water and HPHT fields is published. So as of now we are getting the ceiling price for 98 bar 2.
6.13. What is the price, sir? Sorry.
6.1.
6.1. And this ceiling will remain so, or will it increase in April?
So as we understand, this is expected to increase, but how much it is going to increase, that will come to know only when this exercise is complete.
Understood, sir. What is the price that you are seeing in APM, sir? Is it between 6.5 or high, or less than that? What do you see as the gas price for APM in April?
This again, because it is calculated based on the hub prices, this is again expected to increase, but again this will depend on the formula and the inputs which are required for calculation of that formula.
Understood, sir. Sir, one final question from me. Given the steep increase in prices in crude, which we are seeing almost after 2014-15, any thoughts on subsidy sharing, specifically on LPG side? Any thoughts on that? Essentially on cash utilization, do you think the government will claw back some through subsidy sharing that you are seeing today? Any thoughts on that?
This information I cannot give, but we have been requesting the ministry and advocating for a market-based pricing for oil and gas.
Okay. Got it, sir. Thanks and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is coming up from Soumya from Spark Capital. Line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, sir. Can you just help us with the debt numbers, both at standalone and subsidiary level?
You asked for debt numbers?
Yes.
Outstanding debt September 21 is 6779 crores. For ONGC, the outstanding debt stands at 6,779 crores.
What would be the consolidated?
Consolidated, we do not do that. Balance sheet is not prepared for the quarter, right? Half year we can say. Half yearly method.
Okay, this information is not readily available with me as of half yearly. But
got it, sir. Okay. I mean, would we have OVL debt numbers alone, sir?
ये बताइए सर 30/9/31 वाला.
Okay, for OVL as on 30th November, this information 30th September, the debt is 37,685 crores.
Got it, sir. Sir, with respect to the OVL capex, you did mention that the guidance of 8,000 crores, what you're looking at, excludes any potential new acquisition. Now, given that Vietnam, as you mentioned, is kind of declining, is this something that you're thinking about as to further augment your portfolio there? Is this something that is in the radar?
This is an ongoing exercise. The ONGC business development team keeps on working on it, and they are at this point also looking at several offers. So this is an ongoing work which is being carried out by ONGC Videsh.
Okay, sir. And also one question with respect to KG 98. So what would be the break-even gas price there?
This information again is not available with me right now. But for the company figures I can share if you want.
Yes.
This is for
Yes.
barrel लिखा ना. For
MMBTU.
For ONGC it is $3 per MMBTU. Cost of production for the company is $3 per MMBTU.
So what would be the cost heads that are considered under this? I mean, this includes depreciation also?
Yes. Yes. It includes depreciation also.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. There are no further questions at this point of time. Turning the program back to you, sir, for your closing comments.
Just to supplement, $3 per MMBTU, the cost of production which I shared, it does not include the returns on capital employed. So this is excluding that figure, just to clarify. So if there are no more questions, then can we close?
Thank you so much. Thank you, respected speakers. Thank you, participants, for joining the call. Wish you all have a great day ahead and requesting to please stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.